Hello, I am Madeleine Constantine, and I did the Soviet cinema, which is chapter 8. Bear with me because some of the names I can't pronounce very well, but I will try my best. Alright, so a little bit of the background. Cinema was a growing and accepting industry to be in under the government and means of teaching history of the Soviet Union. They did not have a very high budget to make the movies, just due to the 1900s, all the wars that happened. And it wasn't until Stalin came into power that the film industry really started suffering. Many people in the industry were trying to flee from the Soviet Union or to have freedom away from communism. So that really hurt a lot of the movies and all the good directors who wanted their freedom and not be monitored by the government like they were. So that had a huge effect on it. But it was still a very important time for cinema in the Soviet Union during this time period. It really started everything and became inspiration for countries all over. So we're going to start with Sergei Eisenstein. He made many modern-day directors follow his way, such as Coppola, Palma, and Spielberg. And he was very sought-after, intelligent, creative producer of his time for Soviet montage. His films were controversial for the time of capitalism and were banned from different parts of the world. And the one that was the most controversial, which is his famous film, was called Battleship Potemkin. It's very propagandistic, and it was released in 1925, and it actually did not show in England until the 1950s. He was brilliant about emotionally engaging the crowd to make them really have passionate feel while watching his films. He did this by collision montage, which is a way of editing to make it seem like as an audience you are going more into the idea by these short shots. So it's basically a long narrative in a shorter period of time, and he really did well at doing that, and it really captivated the audience. However, in Hollywood, he fled from the Soviet Union, and he went to Hollywood, and Hollywood admired his works, but sadly he did not have success in filming in Hollywood, and he also tried to go down to Mexico, try to film, and that is when Stalin summoned him back to Russia, or to the Soviet Union, and his career, and a lot of his footage was deleted, and soon after that, he lived 16 years back there, but he never really had any film after that was very big. So that was sad that that happened in his time period, but he still is an inspiration, and people love the whole collision montage, short shots effect, and you see that in movies like Rocky and Pearl Harbor and a bunch of movies nowadays, and that was all started from Eisenstein. Okay, next is Vsevolod Pudovkin, and his most famous film was called Mother, and it was an important film to the Soviets about the revolution from the regime and communism. He cherished the acting in his films to convey each message like most of the Soviet directors of his time, but he did not like using famous actors at the time. He liked to have someone that didn't have a lot of experience but could still convey the emotion, which was really cool. And although, like most directors, he was not as well liked, this was because he was the only one of these men who, as it read in the text online, says never make a film that had a decidedly anti-regime subtext and was always the dedicated artist in the service of the state. So his teachings did not last, I guess you could say, as nearly as long as Eisenstein's. It wasn't as accepted as longer, but he was still amazing in what he did. His film, The End of St. Petersburg, showed in New York City, and this was special because it was the first Soviet film showed in the United States, and it was shown in one of the largest theaters. So that was a really cool thing to have. So now I'm just going to show you some clips of these movies, and so from each of these people, so you can see what I'm talking about and how their ideas still matter today, and it has had effect on Hollywood and how we see movies today and our filmmaking, because it kind of helped Hollywood branch out and not stay away from their classic filming and really broaden the horizon. So thank you for watching, and I'm going to show you these clips.